Making a vegetable cake is a great way to add a little healthy goodness to your loaves and to your cakes. But now it's time with a classic carrot cake. This is a 2-layer cake with a cream cheese frosting. I'll start with measuring some vegetable oil, 3/4 of a cup. A cup of light brown sugar. I'll add the brown sugar to the oil, along with 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, 3 eggs, and a teaspoon of vanilla. Something I really appreciate about this style of veggie cake is that it's easy to make, but also it's quite a formal dessert, perfect for a special occasion like a birthday. I'll sift my dry ingredients separately, starting with 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I need baking powder and baking soda, 2 teaspoons of the baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, as well 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'll put in a full teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of allspice, and then the last addition, ground clove. I only need 1/4 teaspoon of that. Sift that together. And I've got 2 cups of finely grated fresh carrot, but you can see the fine grind because I want that delicate orange color to permeate the cake evenly. I like to add the carrot to the flour mixture so it won't clump up as I stir the cake together, but also to distribute that beautiful orange color evenly. Now I'll add the flour to the wet mixture, and it does make a very wet batter. And look at that orange color come through. Absolutely gorgeous. And I don't have any lumps or clumps of carrot, so now I can add the walnuts. What you want to do is actually pre-toast them before you use them. All I've done is taken some walnuts, spread them out onto my baking tray, and in a 350 oven, it just takes 10 minutes until they're nicely toasted. They'll be crunchier within the cake and taste a little sweeter. I'll measure 3/4 of a cup for the batter, and the remainder I'm going to save for decorating the cake on the outside. Just a quick stir. And for my layer cake, I have 2 9-inch pans. I've greased the entire pan, but then put a sheet of parchment cut out into a circle in the bottom of each pan. I'll divide the batter evenly between the 2 pans. Spread the batter to cover the bottom of the pan. The cakes are ready for the oven. I've preheated it to 350, and these take 25 to 30 minutes to bake. All right. Because the batter goes in so wet, you want to make sure when you insert a skewer, it comes out clean. Then you know your cake is done. I like to let my carrot cakes cool in the pan for 1/2 an hour. Then I turn them out to cool completely. So I have my cakes here already cooled so I can make that cream cheese frosting. I have a full 8-ounce package of cream cheese softened to room temperature, along with 1/4 cup of butter already in my mixer. I'm gonna beat that first just to smooth it out. I'll just scrape down the bowl a little bit. And I have 3 cups of sifted icing sugar. I'm going to add 1/2 of that first and then mix that to blend. In between the 2 additions of icing sugar, I like to add a little bit of flavoring. The addition of a teaspoon of lemon juice and a teaspoon of vanilla extract also helps to dissolve the icing sugar, so your cream cheese frosting will never have a gritty consistency to it. Now that the lemon and vanilla has been added, I can add the remaining icing sugar. Okay, a nice fluffy cream cheese frosting. Now it's time to frost the cake. I'm going to use a cake wheel. It makes frosting a cake so much easier. Something else we use in the industry are cardboard cake boards that allows you to move the cakes easily. So I'll take the first cooled cake, peel off the parchment, of course, and then put it on the cake board. I'll grab my offset spatula. It's also called a palette knife, sort of like a painter's palette knife, except I'm gonna paint with frosting. A nice, generous dollop of the cream cheese frosting. So I start from the middle and spread to the outside edges. Now, to put the second layer on top, and carefully place it on top. There you go. I put a generous dollop of the frosting on the top, and just like the middle layer, spread it to the outside edge of the cake. And then spread it on the sides. I'll just do a nice straight edge on the side of the cake. But the top, I'm going to create a nice swirling design. The finishing step is to put some walnuts on the side. Now, because I've put the cake on a board, I can lift it up and move it around very easily. So I just hold the cake over the tray of walnut pieces, and from the bottom edge of the cake up, press those walnuts on. Just rotating the cake as you go. I'll just put it on a cake plate right now and pop it in the fridge for a couple hours to set up the cream cheese frosting. I have one that has already chilled down, so now is the time to show off. And there we go. Look at that beautiful, subtle orange interior with the walnuts. It's no wonder this is the most popular veggie cake.